Hey there! So, if you're an Israeli who's been living abroad for years, you definitely know that pull to come back home. It can be really strong. But, returning is about so much more than just packing your bags. It's about stepping into a pretty complex financial world. Today, we're going to break down the massive tax changes for veteran returning residents that are hitting in 2026, so you can make sure your return is a huge success.
You've probably built a whole life out there, a career, maybe a family, but that thought of coming back to Israel, to be closer to your family, to reconnect, it's always kind of there in the back of your mind, isn't it? It's a really emotional decision, and a massive one at that.
And really, that's what this all comes down to. On one hand, you've got the dream, this beautiful new chapter in Israel, reconnecting with everyone, having that financial peace of mind. But on the other side, well, there's the nightmare, the fear of surprise tax bills, getting tangled up in bureaucracy, and maybe even losing the savings you worked so hard for. Our goal today? To make sure you stay firmly in that dream column.
Okay, let's get right into it, because this is where a lot of people make a really costly mistake. So many people think they're completely covered because they have this one piece of paper, but that misunderstanding can end up costing them a fortune. So picture this. You go to the Ministry of Absorption, you get your returning resident certificate, and you think, great, I'm official. Let's go get those tax benefits. I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? But unfortunately, it's a trap. And here is the absolute key to understanding this whole thing. That certificate you got, it's useful for some things, sure, but it means literally nothing to the one government agency that actually matters for your taxes, the Israel Tax Authority. They have their own rulebook, and they don't care about anyone else's.
So here's the bottom line. The Ministry of Absorption is there to help you with things like getting professional training or maybe a business loan. But when we're talking about taxes, like that 10-year exemption on your foreign income, the only opinion that matters is the tax authorities. And their definition of who qualifies is way, way stricter.
All right, let's fast forward a bit because 2026 is going to be a complete game changer. The government is rolling out some incredible new benefits, but they're also bringing in some major new rules that you absolutely have to understand.
First, let's just be crystal clear on who this even applies to. To the tax authority, a veteran returning resident is someone who used to be an Israeli resident, left, and then was a foreign resident for at least 10 consecutive years. That word consecutive is everything, and proving it is a lot more complicated than just looking at a calendar.
And here it is, the big headline for 2026. For the very first time, veteran residents who come back in a certain time frame are going to get a tax exemption not just on their money from abroad, but on income they earn inside Israel. This is huge. It's a massive new incentive to bring your career and your business back home.
And just look at how this works. The benefit is staggered over a few years. If you qualify, you could earn up to 1,000,000 shekels a year in 2027 and 2028 from your work in Israel and pay zero tax on it. The exemption then phases down after that. We're talking about a really, really significant financial boost.
But, and you knew there was a but coming, right? Along with these amazing new perks comes a very big change to the old system. And this isn't just some small adjustment, it's a fundamental shift in how Israel handles the finances of returning residents.
For years, the deal was you got a 10-year break from paying taxes on foreign income, and a break from even telling the tax authority about it. Well, that second part, the reporting exemption, is completely gone as of January 1st, 2026. Now, let me be really clear. The 10-year tax break itself is still there. You won't pay taxes on that foreign income, but you are now legally required to report all of it. The days of total financial privacy for returning residents are over.
So, with all that going on, how in the world do you make sure you do this right? Well, it all boils down to a very clear, simple checklist. And getting this right from the very beginning is the only way you're going to secure those benefits and, frankly, avoid a disaster.
So here they are, the 3 crucial steps. And the order here is everything. You can't skip ahead. Step 1, and this is maybe the most important tip I can give you, get expert advice from a specialist in this specific area while you're still living abroad. Step 2, you formally apply to the Israel Tax Authority to get their official recognition. And step 3, you wait. You do not touch or assume you have any tax benefits until you have that official written approval in your hands.
And if you're wondering why step 1 is so important, just listen to this story. A client came back to Israel after being away for what he was sure was 15 years. But when the tax authority looked into it, their analysis showed he was only a foreign resident for 9 years and 8 months. He missed the 10-year mark by just a few months, and he lost everything, every single benefit, gone. A simple consultation before he moved would have saved him.
Okay, let's just dig into that a little bit more. Because this isn't about filling out a few forms correctly. Trying to handle this complex process by yourself is just a massive, massive financial risk.
You see, the tax authority isn't just counting the days you were gone. They use something called the Center of Life test. They look at everything, where your family is, your financial ties, your social circles. It's not a math problem. It's a judgment call that they get to make. And your job is to build an airtight case that proves you really did cut ties for 10 full years.
And that is precisely why you need a specialist. In fact, the source material for this whole explainer comes from the C.P.A. firm Amnon ben Shushan, and this is exactly what they do. They focus specifically on helping veteran returning residents get through this exact maze.
I mean, just look at their specialties. International taxation, the specific rules for veteran returning residents, and getting what's called a pre-ruling. That's that official green light we talked about from the tax authority. This is the kind of focused expertise that can be the difference between getting all your benefits and walking into a financial nightmare.
And I want to leave you with this final thought, because I think it just sums everything up perfectly. A clever person might figure out how to get out of a mess once they're in it. But a wise person gets the right advice ahead of time so they never get into that mess in the first place. Coming home to Israel is an incredible step. Just make sure you make the wise choice.